So let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. Hey, what's up? So I'm here with Lea Thompson. I actually met Lea in Poland at SteemFest. So let's jump right into it. Even though Steem was released by Dan in March 2016, I believe, Bitcoin was released in 2010. So when did you get into crypto?
You know, I was kind of like vaguely familiar with it for a while, but I really started getting more involved actually when I joined the Steem platform in 2017, kind of like mid 2017. And so I kind of call it my gateway drug to crypto. I found this website. I was like, what? I can post ukulele videos and earn crypto? That's cool. Like, what's this? And so I just started blogging and making videos and kind of sharing on there a couple of years ago. And it's just kind of snowballed from there, because once I was on there and connecting with, just other people that had similar interests like music and art and things like that, I started to also then see all of the crypto content that was on there. And so started to read it and just started to connect with people that were, involved in the crypto community more. And so I'd say that it was just kind of like a slow process over the last few years of becoming more and more curious and learning more, and then getting more involved. But Steem was kind of the beginning point, I would say.
For sure. We advocate Steem so much. For those who don't know, Steem is actually a blockchain, but it has several different decentralized applications that are built on top of it that allow you to interact with a digital community and earn the currency Steem. So how did you find Steem? Were you searching for some sort of blogging platform where you could make money online, or how did you stumble across it?
My boyfriend actually told me about it. So he's been in crypto since 2013 and is just a long time crypto buff. And so, I'd been kind of telling me for a while, like, hey, you should probably buy some Bitcoin. And I wish I'd listened to him. But when he found Steem, he's like, I think this could be something you would be interested in. And it was totally right. And then it's kind of funny how it all, from there, like once you get started down the rabbit hole, it's really fun and exciting to keep going.
For sure. And you have a very successful Steem profile, and you've also created another one. You've created the Steem Sisters, which also is very successful in its own right. I guess I have your website or your Steem pulled up right now. I'm just going to show some, because I'll do a screen share of it right now. But you've made, several hundred thousands of dollars doing this just by posting the stuff that you like to do. And what people have to be aware of is that everything is public when it comes to blockchains, and they're written there forever. So this is not a place where you want to go and vent about something. But the value is essentially judged based on the community, and it's given a value, and you're rewarded for it in a cryptocurrency called Steem. And you've got about 17,000 Steem. Much of it's been powered up at this point. And right now, one Steem is worth about 22 cents, but it has been worth about $8. That's a lot of money at the all-time high,
Oh, those were exciting days, let me tell you.
We'll be back there, but it's so important to show that you can actually make money by vlogging and blogging about the things that you like to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's what was really kind of revolutionary to me about it, because I was like, how does this even work? And that's what caused me to become more curious about blockchain technology and how it actually worked, because I'm like, well, how is money just showing up? Like, what is this? And so I think that point of intrigue was a pretty interesting point for piquing that curiosity about crypto and just kind of its greater implications on the world, really.
Right on. So you've gone to other conferences. I met you in Poland, but I also ran into you again in Mexico, which was sort of a completely different type of conference. Yeah, it had a lot of crypto influence, but this was primarily an anarchist conference. So what got you interested in anarchy?
So I've been a long time libertarian and was a really big Ron Paul supporter. Like I really felt like that group lined up with my values of, hey, people should be free to do whatever they want, to live their life as long as they're not harming other people. And I knew what anarchy was, like kind of like I knew what a textbook definition of anarchy was, but I didn't really know a lot of anarchists, even though I was really involved in the local libertarian movement, especially during the Ron Paul campaigns. And so I was just kind of curious about like what it was really about, you know, like what is this community actually like? And so we, like you said, we're in Mexico, Anarchapulco, which is, you know, if you guys are listening to this, you know what Anarchapulco is. But
The
it was
genesis.
amazing. And one of the things that someone said to me on the very first night, which was just so funny and totally ended up being true. I mean, I was like, oh, I'm a libertarian, blah, blah, blah. You know, we're at the bar talking. And he was like, well, you know the difference between a libertarian and an anarchist? He's like, 6 months.
Nice. Yeah. 6 months, Anarchast, a bunch of YouTube, and going around to these conferences and meeting like minds. You know, I mean, I had isolated myself to having this very small circle of people that I associated with because we just lived in different realms. And then when I started going to these places, I just found more people like myself. And that's why we're doing Anarchadelphia. And what you're doing, and it's just so important. That's why we want you there. Can we get a little sneak peek about what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, I'm really excited, first of all, for your event. I think that what you are doing is incredible. Like what I got to experience at Anarchapulco, of it being in my normal life where it's like rare to run into other people that would even identify as libertarian or have any kind of the same value set that I do, is already kind of rare. And then to be in this space where there's like thousands of people that actually think the same thing, and like the energy in that space and how it just, I was like, I need to attend more events like this and be around these people more. And so that's why I think, you know, events like this are so valuable. And I think that what you're doing and bringing all these people together, you know, in the United States is great, you know, making it more accessible for people to get to. But to give you a little sneak peek on what I'm going to be talking about at Anarchadelphia, you know, you mentioned that I've been, you know, we've met at a few conferences, I've been at a few conferences, you know, oftentimes at these crypto events, like people are kind of bringing me in to speak to add a little bit of, I would say maybe like levity. You know, there's a lot of like really like technical crypto type of, you know, presentations of different projects kind of back to back. And so one of the things that I try to focus on is kind of more of the human element when it comes to blockchain. And so we all talk about mass adoption, like, you know, it's this thing that we all want, but it's kind of this abstract idea of like, oh, it's this thing we're going to get to at some point. And I think that there, you know, it oftentimes, in fact, most of the time, mass adoption does not come from, you know, one big mass marketing campaign or a Super Bowl ad or something really big. But, you know, social change often comes from people just sharing their life experiences and their stories and their knowledge with the people around them. And so I think that there's a lot of benefit to paying attention to the conversations that we're having with people. And I think, honestly, like as a community, that's maybe not something we're very good at. You know, there's a lot of really technical people in the space. And so what ends up happening is when, let's say our friends are like, hey, I heard about Bitcoin in their news, or I heard that Facebook is doing something with crypto, and they know you're into crypto, so they ask you about it. You know, I would say as a community, tend to just kind of word vomit on them and be like, oh, well, it's decentralized and it's trustless and there's proof of brain and it's amazing because we're so excited. We're so excited to talk about it. And that person goes from actually being kind of interested to being like, I have no idea what you just said. Like, what is this? And they say that it takes at least 7 times of someone sharing something for it to start to stick. And then if someone has heard something negative, like maybe, oh, crypto is just used for the black market, like negativity bias research shows that it takes at least 5 times as many positive interactions to counteract that one negative. And so what I'm going to be talking about in my talk is maybe why we tend to want to word vomit on people about crypto, but also like just some little mental shifts that we can make to make those conversations a lot more meaningful and impactful, so we're talking with them instead of talking at them about crypto.
For sure. I totally agree that the space is developer techie heavy, and it's missing a lot of like sociable personality, and yeah, we tend to throw up on people because we want to bring them in. We're like, we know that you would love this, you know what I mean? And we might understand it like a little bit differently than them, but that's why it's so important to go around and build the community. And it might not even be Steem that is the platform that we all end up on, because Steem will be there forever. But if the people don't want to use it, they're not going to use it. But as long as we can continue to build this community and move the community to wherever it needs to go to, I think that we will be successful in achieving digital freedom at some point in our lifetime.
Absolutely. And I think that, you know, kind of to your point, I think that competition is a good place and the marketplace is always wins, right? And so like as different communities, like what matters isn't necessarily, in my opinion, what platform you're using or where that is, but that we're all growing this space together, and that we're all, like, we all see the potential of this technology and how it can create a world that is vastly better than the current situation of what we're living under, you know, with current governments and different things like that. And so I think that as long as we're all kind of like, we see that, and then we're learning how to bring the people we love and we know around us on board with that, I think that's a pretty powerful thing.
The time is now, because the technology is there, and there's another force using the same technology to continue to attempt to enslave us. So we have to get together and fight them with the same technology now.
I love it.
So if you guys want to support Lea, you can use coupon code Lea at checkout. The link for tickets will be below. And we can't wait to see you at Anarchadelphia in September.
Awesome. Can't wait to hang out with you again, Pat. 3 times this year is pretty good.
Yeah.
Super excited to meet all of you that are going to be at Anarchadelphia. You know, Acapulco was so big. There's so many more people I wanted to meet. And so I'm excited to see some of those same faces again at this event. The lineup that you have at this event is just insane. I've been telling everyone I know to get to it because it's just going to be such a special event.
You know, and this event never would have happened if it wasn't for Anarchapulco, because Carmen, Sunny, and myself, we met there, and it's just a rippling effect. You know, whoever's going to meet at this conference at Anarchadelphia, some relationships will be fostered that will continue to push forth the movement, and that's our goal.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, it was awesome talking to you, and we'll see you soon.
You too.
Peace.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.